What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, the official Cliffy J, and I'm back with another video. And today I'm be giving you guys another Big Brother ranking, and this time I'm gonna be talking about the best challenge Big Brother comp beast of the new era. So let's go. Big Brother comp beast of the new era. Let me make sure I say that correctly. Big Brother comp beast of the new era. So y'all already know how we usually do these lists. With this one, I'm going to be going based off of the best streaks they had, who was the most well-rounded in the competitions, who was the most dominant overall, who was you going against, things like that. So let's go on and get into a couple of honorable mentions because we got to at least mention a couple other players other than the top tier, right? Let's get it. We got a few honorable mentions, but I'm going to just talk about the ones that were actually close to making the list. We got Vince from BB27. We got Chelsea from BB26. We got Christian from BB23. And we got Lauren from BB27. Those are the ones that I feel like were the closest. Either they didn't make it far enough in someone like Christian's case, they weren't consistent enough in someone like Lauren's case, or maybe they just weren't dominant enough in someone like Chelsea's case. I think Chelsea was really good, but I'm just saying with like Vince, Chelsea and Vince were both really good, but I just don't think they were like as dominant outside of like HOH competitions. They both were killing the HOHs though. And at number 10, I've got
Let's go!
Congratulations, sucker! You have won the golden power of veto.
Tucker. And his early season dominance with 7 comp wins and only 6 losses is definitely one of the best pre-jury performances ever. And the reason I have him over someone like Christian is because they have match skill sets, both very athletic, good at puzzles and stuff. But Tucker was putting way too much pressure on himself for some reason. I don't know why. And he had to deal with AI arenas, and there's more pressure in the AI arena than in a veto. Even though veto is the most pressure filled, especially if you're on the block, bro. If you're in an AI arena, it's literally like it feels like win or go home. I know it at least does. So I'm gonna go ahead and put Tucker at number 10. And at number 9, I've got
Congratulations, Kylan. You have won the power veto. We have just a few minutes to strategize.
Kyland. And if I was taking into account the challenge, obviously we'd be having my boy at number 1. But we only can talk about Big Brother, and he doesn't have a second season. He doesn't have a reindeer games. Doesn't have anything to boon his, resume and put him up higher on the list. So we just can go off his season, which was still pretty good. A strong competitor with good all around ability. Just wasn't able to clutch it at the end. And most of the players that are higher won the final HOH, or they were extremely dominant, like extremely dominant throughout the season or in a certain portion of the season. And at number 7, I've got
I'm not feeling any nerves. I'm not shaking. I'm not worried about where everyone else is. All I have to do is execute.
Cam from BB25. He had a really, really good stretch around like the time that Red had around like really when he won the 4th HOH, I believe, when he got Jag out, then Jag got saved by Matt's advantage. I think from that stretch on, he was an extremely dominant competitor, and that's mainly what I'm looking at to have him on the list. If he would have been able to make it further in the game and get to the end game stretch and win some of those end game comps, maybe win like the final HOH or Final Four veto or something, he would definitely probably be like number 1 on this list. He'd definitely be higher because he had potential to do that, but he wasn't able to make a deeper run to put himself higher on the list. From what we got, this is about where I would put him. Very dominant, but not at the top level of dominance. And at number 6, I've got Morgan. And when we talk about dominant, when I think of the words dominant right now, all that comes to my mind is if you know, you know. But also, what comes to mind is Morgan's like mid to late game stretch. It was just extremely impressive. It was like the whole last month she was safe from a logistics standpoint. She was literally safe for like 6 rounds, I believe. I think she was safe for 6 rounds of gameplay in a row based off of her ability. So, yeah, if she would be able to clutch it, same thing with Cam. If she would be able to clutch it at the end, we might be looking at number 1 or number 2, but she wasn't able to get it done at the end. And she also wasn't very dominant at the beginning. It was like her stretch was where she got good at competitions. Before that, she was just like second, third, never able to really get it done. And at number 5, I got...
Congratulations, Keanu! You have won this competition, and you are now officially off the block. Everyone.
Keanu. And look, man, the amount of pressure, the pressure matters, guys. And he's very well-rounded. He's very well-rounded, extremely agile for his size, flexible, all that stuff. Like, some of the stuff he was doing wasn't right. Obviously, it just doesn't make any sense. A guy that big able to move like that, but it is what it is, bro. It is what it is. The guy is a physical beast, and very smart, very methodical. Someone that is just as good, if not better, at mental and strategic competitions as he is at physical ones. Also having great dexterity, also having insane balance, being fast, having challenges that he probably would have won if it wasn't for people being against him in the game, being back against the wall the whole game. Like, even if it was his own fault in certain aspects, that's just what it was. He was back against the wall, and he pulled it out every time it seemed like he needed to. That's what was crazy. It was like when he didn't need to win, it's like he just didn't. But when he needed to win, every time the guy was able to do it. And that's just, well, not every time. It was obviously one time when he needed to win and he couldn't do it, but most of the time. So I'm going to go ahead and have Keanu at number 5. And at number 4, I've got Jag from BB25. Record-breaking amount of wins, impressive overall dominance. I just think the cast wasn't that strong. I know that may be a hot take because I also got Cam on here, and I could have had Matt as honorable mention. But I think outside of them, nobody else was that good at comps. Bowie was okay, but she wasn't like athletic. Like, you know what I'm saying? She was good at mental comps. And I would argue that a lot of the cast had like a more well-rounded cast in terms of physicality. They had maybe a better older player or two. Like, they had the better young girls. Like, their young girls in this cast were not great at competitions. Like, they had Riley. She was gone early. Mimi wasn't great at competitions. Blue wasn't great at competitions. America wasn't great at competitions. They didn't really have what a lot of other seasons got, So it was just them. It was just strong guys. That's it. That's why the HOHs reflected what they did. That's not a super strong cast, not well-rounded in challenge strengths and diverse in that way, like where these different challenges are going to be hard for different players. No, the strongest people were them. The best people in mental comps were them and Bowie, so they just had their way with the cast. That wasn't extremely impressive to me, but Jag is clearly a very good athlete, and he is clearly pretty smart. So I gotta have him on the list. When you put that together with his dominance throughout the later game stretch, even though it was against Suri and Felicia. And then number 3, I've got Xavier. And in terms of big brother competitors, I think that he could be considered the best of this new era if we're just talking about athletes. I think him, Keanu, maybe Kylan, Jag, Matt are probably MJ. They're probably like the best athletes. Morgan, they're probably the best athletes off of the show. But if we're just saying big brother competitions, who's shown me the most and been the most impressive, I got to give Xavier a slight leg up because he does have essentially 2 seasons and maybe more than 2 seasons worth of comp to show you on big brother type competitions in eliminations that are like AI arenas to a certain extent and stuff like that. I just think that he's been the most impressive of the people that are not like untouchable. I got 2 that I say are untouchable in terms of their big brother skill set and dominance and what they were able to do. And I got those 2 at the top 2 spots. So let's go ahead and get into the top 2. And at number 2, I've got
Congratulations, Mackenzie, for the second time this season. You have won in the
MJ. And she has the late game dominance, little mid-season dominance, She got out the biggest comp beast of the season, won multiple AI arenas, which are extremely impressive. And she was able to win the final HOH. She checks all the boxes. And at number 1, I've got
veto competition wins in a single summer.
Thank you.
Wow.
But now that I have it, let's extend the lead. The only option I have now at this point is to keep winning, so that's what I'm going to try to do.
Michael Bruner from BB24. I think he had a solid cast in terms of competition ability. And that's a big reason why I felt so confident putting him at the top, even though he didn't make it to the final HOH. Because you could even argue that he possibly even got screwed over in that last challenge, because it did look a little bit like his malfunctioned a little bit, and that's why Monty was able to get him. Not saying that Monty wouldn't have beat him if it didn't malfunction. He probably would have anyway. I mean, Monty clearly performed really good in that competition, and he is a strong competitor himself. Losing to someone that's really strong, especially when it's all on you at this point, it's like you've just dominated the game competition-wise at a level where I don't know if we ever seen before in the game. Like, I don't really know what else I'm really supposed to say. I'm not going to knock him for losing that one competition. He basically won every single other one. I mean, he has a crazy win percentage, on top of the fact that he was just really dominant and he won so many type of comps, and he has a high IQ in terms of the level. He has like a high knowledge of the game and knows the different comps that are going to be there. I'm sure he would have beaten anybody that he possibly could have in the last challenge, so in final HOH. So yeah, no, I definitely I'm pretty confident that he would have been able to beat anybody in the final HOH. So I'm definitely going to lean towards Michael as number 1.